Howdy everyone, Matt and Mateo here. We're coming at you with another orthopedic special test, and it's for the knee. And it is the bounce home test. This test is most commonly known as a special test to look at the integrity of the meniscus, but it could show that there's possibly like a loose body in the knee or maybe swelling, because we're just looking at the knee's ability to go into full extension. So saying, like, again, the meniscus could just be have a bucket handle tear in there, or that there's something just free floating in it, or again, a lot of that swelling is blocking it. I couldn't find anything about the history of this, like where it came from. It's been referenced many times. Very often it's included in like clusters of tests, and it seemed like, again, it was always for meniscus, and at least references back to the 80s. There was one reference to a case study in 1903 with somebody, a coal miner, that injured their knee, and they did a surgery, and they said, well, the cruciate ligaments were torn, but everything else looked good, but it didn't really reference this at all. I don't know why they picked that study. To perform it, we have the person laying down. Mateo so graciously said he would. Support the foot, supporting the calcaneus with one hand, the other hand up under the knee. We passively flex them, and then allow it to go into an extension. Now, I was taught to let it drop into it, but I'm going to tell you, the time I did that, it was very painful. The person jumped, so I'm not going to do that, but allow it to go into that extension. What we are looking for is, does the knee go into that full extension, or does it have like a rubbery feel to it? And if either one of those, so it doesn't go to the full extension or has that rubbery kind of end feel, it said the test is to be a positive. I was taught that it was pain, so if you dropped them into it and it hurt, it's painful, I can see. But even if you maybe didn't have an issue with the meniscus, if I dropped your knee into it, it could be painful. So that's what we're looking for with this test. For some of the research, there wasn't really anything this specifically for this test, just to say, hey, it just looked at this. It was included, like I said, very often with clusters of other tests for the meniscus. The sensitivity was fairly low, anywhere in some of the studies that did look at like forceful hyperextension of the knee, it did found that forceful hyperextension had a fairly low sensitivity in the 30s to 40s, but the specificity was much higher there. So if this test was, negative, possibly like, okay, you probably don't have it. So that's the bounce home test. It's not talked about a lot. I thought I would talk about it a little bit, but I want to know, do you use this test? Do you have somebody lay up here, let me check that knee, and you let that knee go into that full extension? It's quick and easy. Actually, that's very quick and easy to do. And do you use it? Do you find that it's a good test? Do you use it that it predicts things as well? Let me know in the comments down below what you think about it as well. And until next time, take care of yourself, take care of your patients. We'll see you then.